Hello, and welcome to another Big Data tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look at some general Linux commands in the GACRC. So first step is to go ahead and log into the GACRC. So we'll do that by SSH. Okay, once we're logged into the GACRC, we can do a few simple commands such as pwd. This will list where you are at the current time. This will basically print the working directory. So you are in home, dlab, and leave_inst is my name. So if we do a cd command, which is change directory to, say, quicksort, and we do a pwd, it'll basically return that we have entered the quicksort directory. So go back out, we do cd, two dots will return to the previous directory, so we do pwd again, and we'll see we're back in the home directory. And another quick tool is just do cd, and it will automatically return back to your home directory. So a few options to list files inside your directory. You'll use the ls command. The ls command will just list your files and folders in the directory. If you do a ls.l command, this will list more information about your files, including permissions, user, group, and size. Now to list the hidden files, you do ls.al. And this will list your hidden files, all your dot files. Those will list all that using the ls.al command. Another one is the ls.lh command. This command, the H stands for human readable. So as you can see here before, we're seeing file sizes, and here we're actually seeing file sizes in bytes and kilobytes here. More readable, so if you have a 2 megabyte file, it'll show up as a 2 megabyte file instead of a bunch of numbers like this here. So our next one is ls.lt. This one will show all the files in a chronological order from most recent to later. So as you can see here, we have June 5th back down to May. And that concludes the basic part of moving around the file system in Linux. Okay, let's talk about examining files. And to do this, we use the file command. So we'll go ahead and try out the file command here. So we'll do file sub.sh. And this will show us that it's a script command. This is the shell scripts we use to run projects on the GACRC. So we'll go ahead and do another one here. We'll do file. And we use file. We have another file here called file. And this tells us it's a ASCII text file. So we'll just verify that. And it shows we have a simple file there with a few lines in there. So let's now try an executable. So we'll do, and we'll see we have a green executable there. So we'll do file. And this will tell you it's a executable file. Now we need to view the file. And to view the file in its entirety, we use the cat command. So we'll just do cat, do output. As you can see, it returns all the lines inside that file. So we have a few lines there. Now to view a very large file using a paging feature, we use the ls command. So we'll do less, and we'll do the makefile. As you can see here, it's a large file, so you can keep on hitting space. And you can page and page down until you reach the end of the document. And to exit out of this, we simply just hit Q on the keyboard and it exits out of the less command. And we can also use the more command with similar effect. And it basically does about the same thing. So hit the space key. And now we're at the end of the file. And this one doesn't require exit if you hit the end of the file. And that concludes examining files on the GACRC and any Linux cluster. Now let's talk about manipulating files and directories. So we'll first start off with some simple copy commands. Our first command is copy. So we'll copy a file. So we'll copy cp file into, let's say, test projects. So this is a directory, so once we cp that into the test directory, we'll go ahead and verify it's in there. So we'll do cd test project. And we'll do an ls, and as you can see, we have a file in there. So we'll just use the cat command to list all the contents of the file, and we have the file intact in there. So we'll go ahead and move back out here. This is our home directory, and we'll do a cp to another file command. So let's say we want to copy the file to file 1, so we'll make a backup of it. Okay, as you can see there, we have 2 files, and we'll do an ls.alh, and we'll scroll up here. As you can see there, we have file and file 1, and they are both 11 bytes, I believe. Now we'll do a copy command where it asks you if you would like to overwrite the file if it already exists. So we'll do cp file to file 1, and we'll use the flag -i. This will alert you and say, do you want to override file 1? And you can either say N for no, or you can run the command and say Y for yes, and it'll overwrite the file. You can do that same with cp file into our test project directory with a -i again. And it'll ask you, do you want to override your file? We'll click yes. Let's say we want to go ahead and copy a full directory. So for example, we want to copy our test project directory. We want to make a backup of that. So to do that, we use cp, and we have our directory test project, and we'll name it test project again, and we'll change it to 1. And we'll have to use the recursive option to go ahead and copy all the contents inside that. So it's a -r, that's recursive. Do an ls. See, there's a test project, so we'll do a cd into test project, and we'll list the contents. So we have a bunch of files, and we'll go out again to the home directory, and we'll do an ls again, and we'll go into the test project 1, and we'll go ahead and verify that all the files copied, and there we go, all the files are copied over there. Another command we can use is the move command. This is similar to a cut command where you cut the file to another location. And this is also useful for renaming files. So for example, we have a file, and let's say we want to go ahead and rename that to something else. So we'll do mv file is space, and we'll name it file 2. And we'll do an ls command. And this renames file to file 2. And also with the move command, you can do mv file 2 into a project folder. So we can do quicksort. And this will move our file 2 into the quicksort directory. And another quick tip here, if you want to list all the files inside of a folder and folders inside of that folder, you can do a find and dot. That will show you subdirectories as well. So for example, you have the quicksort directory, and inside the quicksort directory you have a logs directory, and inside the logs directory we have a bunch of files. So the find dot will show you all the current files down. So that's a quick little tip there. And as for copy, the move command also allows you to ask you if you would like to override. So you can do the mv command, file, and the folder, and you can do a -i, and it will alert you to if you are overriding that file, and it'll ask you to confirm that or deny that. Same as a copy command. Now let's talk about removing files. So let's do a quick ls command to show the files in the directory, and we see we have a file 4 there, and we want to remove that. So we do an rm file, and we hit remove, and we'll do an ls, and that file has now disappeared. Now we can do the same thing with directories. So rm and the directory name. So we'll use 1. Now it gives you this error and says 1 is a directory. Now to remove a directory, you have to do rm -r for recursive and 1. Now we can do the same thing with 2, rm -r, and as you can see there, both our folders 1 and 2 are now removed. Now sometimes you have a stubborn file or folder that will not remove, and to do that we use rm -rf, and the folder name. So for example, 1, if we had a folder named 1. And that would go ahead and remove that. It would force remove that file if something's locking it. Now we can check, we can have the prompt ask us if we truly want to delete a folder or file by using rm-i and R for folders, and we'll put in log. This will basically tell us, do you want to remove this directory logs? And we'll say no, because we don't want to remove it. So we'll do an ls, and we still have logs right there. And also a quick fact, you can do rm-i R together. You can use multiple flags together, or you can separate them, -R, and your targets. Or you can put your rm logs -i at the end. Either way works the same. Now to make directories on GACRC or any file system, you just use the mkdir or make directory commands. So mkdir, and we can make a directory called 3. And a commonly less used option is the remove directory. This only works if you're removing a empty directory, so most people just use the rm-rf command to remove a directory, but we can try this one out. rmdir will remove a directory, so we can see that we have the directory 3. We'll type in, and we have just removed the directory 3, but go ahead and make that directory again and show you. And we have that directory back now. We can use the rm-rf command 3, and it will remove it just as well. So knowing a few less commands is better. But that concludes the manipulating files and directory section of this tutorial. Now let's talk about converting files to Linux format. Windows and Mac use a different endline character than Linux. So the easiest way is just to convert them to a Unix file and work with them from there. So the first command is DOS to Linux. So DOS to Unix. And we'll type in the file Windows file. And it basically converts the file to a Unix format. We can also do the same for the Mac version. So do MAC to Unix, and we'll do the Mac file. And it converts the Mac file to Unix format. Now let's talk about some Zcluster specific commands. We have the quota command. This will show you the information about your quota for your entire group. So for us, we have the 1.9 terabytes, and we're currently using 1.15 terabytes of space. Now let's make a eScratch account. This lasts only 37 days, so will be deleted by the GACRC staff. So to do that, we do a make eScratch. And I've already made one of these eScratch accounts. And the easiest way to access the eScratch account is to go ahead and just copy all this here. Copy that and do a cd, paste that in, and visit that. Now you're in the eScratch directory. I have nothing in the eScratch directory. And now for some commands that are specific to the GACRC's queuing system. So qsub. We'll submit a job. A qstat will show you if you have any running jobs. There we go, we have a running job there. qhold will place a job on hold. So let's show how to delete a job here. We have a job running, so we'll do a qdelete. And we'll type in J, and we'll go and copy the job ID. Paste that in there. And now, as you can see here, we have no more jobs running because we went ahead and deleted that job. And some other commands we have here. We have QACCT. This will list all your finished jobs. And qstat. This will list all your available queues that you're able to submit to. So qstat-g. And see, this will show you all the queues you can use there. So here are some of the GPU queues and some of those queues here. And this will show you some statistics on the queues as well. And of course, to create a file in the GACRC, we have a couple different text editors. We have VI, Emacs. To create a new document using VI, we do VI and new document. And To start typing in VI, we hit the A key, and that allows you to start typing. You see the insert. We'll just type in some characters there. Enter, type in some more characters. And to save this file, we do escape, which gets us out of the insert mode, and a colon, W, Q, and exclamation point. What it does is saves, quits, and force quits the file. So there we go. So now we can do an ls. As you can see there, we have our new document. So we'll go and verify that we have the contents we just created. Do a cat command, new document. And there is our file right there with all the contents in there. And that concludes this portion of the tutorial.